That was really exquisite, Josh. God, today's just like this, isn't it? Wasn't it just exquisite? And you know what? It sets the stage perfectly for what I want to talk about today, because what Josh just showed us is how high we're all getting. How much further we're all going. How much deeper we're going. How much higher we're going. How much up we're going. Yes? Because I remember when Josh first came to our center and he would sing, and can I tell him this? I said to him, he said, I want to sing at church. I said, I don't think you're ready yet. And so we just did this little dance. I said, as soon as you're ready, I promise. And he gave me this, and he sang this song, and I was like, do it. And oh my God, that was brilliant. Just great. So great. But that's where we are as a congregation, as a people. It is time for every single one of us to up it. Are you ready to up it? Yes. Barbara Niles, you ready to up it? Yes. You're just in my peripheral vision, so good luck to you today. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about our capacity to reach higher. Our capacity to take what we already do so well and up the game. Yeah. I'm tired of being in any way content or complacent or okay. This is okay. This is all right the way this is. I don't remember the lyrics exactly, but there's one thing in the lyrics saying, I'm ready to, change it up, or I'm ready to go. Not just sort of go, but to go. Are you all ready for that? I'm just feeling you out. See who's where and who do I need to come down and slap. This is good. No, I sometimes feel like that. I do. Sometimes I feel like, come on, we just got to get this. Anybody want to join me in that today? Okay, so I'm going to start with Ernest Holmes. Ernest Holmes says, the person who can throw himself or herself with complete abandon into that limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who will always receive the greatest reward. Isn't that exciting? Yes. So the person who can throw himself or herself with complete abandon. When was the last time you literally felt yourself throw yourself with complete abandon at something or someone? When was the last time? Because you know what? I had to think about it. When was the last time? I just want to dive off and throw myself at someone. With complete abandon. And I love this next sentence. Into the limitless sea of receptivity. You know what that is? Do you know what the limitless sea of receptivity stands for? Your mind. When was the last time you threw your thoughts with just abandon into your mind and just said, this is what I want. This is who I am. This is who I'm deciding to be. This is what's right. You're either getting this or you're just like miffed. Really, when was the last time you did that? Threw yourself with complete abandon into your mind. And I love this. Having cut loose from all apparent moorings. What are the moorings of your life? Not the mornings of your life. What are the moorings of your life? What holds you in place? What ties you to the harbor and doesn't let you go out and sail into that ocean that is so undiscovered? I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm not smart enough. I'm not creative enough. No one ever told me I could do it. Why should I do it? What are your moorings? What's sitting there? I don't have enough money. I've never had enough money. I don't know how to have enough money. I could keep going right off the stage. What are your moorings? What holds you in place? That's what I'd like you to look at today, to think about today. I love the lyric in this song. And when I heard the song the first time, the lyric that just jumped out at me was, we're taking the ceiling out. And that's why the title of my talk today is Removing the Ceiling. Would you like to remove the ceiling of your life today? Yes. So the question, how high is your ceiling? What's the ceiling of your dreams? What's the highest you think you can go? What stops you from going higher? Who put the ceiling there in the first place? And are you daring enough to live without a ceiling? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, you know that it may rain. If you're daring enough to live without a ceiling, you have to be daring enough to live in the rain. You have to be daring enough to let whatever comes down, come down. Mark Nepo's The Exquisite Risk is a book that I'm reading right now. And I really love it. The whole concept of the risking in life. We get so safe. And I'm not saying that safety isn't a good thing in some respects, But you know what? Safety's not a good thing for someone who really wants to explode. For someone who really wants to transform their lives. For someone who wants to make a difference in their own lives. Safety can be a horrible thing. So I love reading this, The Exquisite Risk, and he says this. He says, we all live on the shore between the depths of being and the dangers of experience. We all live on the shore between the depths of being and the dangers of experience. The depth of being is ceilingless living. And experience puts up a ceiling. And I think a lot of our experiential lives have created ceilings for us. We experience something and we put up a ceiling. Oh, this is how that works, ceiling. So many people, they fall in love, they get their heart broken. It takes them forever to open their heart up again. Ceiling. I fell in love, it hurt, ceiling. So I want you to ask yourself today, where are your ceilings? Where are you still holding back? Where are you still feeling limited? Where have you stopped your dream from rising? Because it can only rise as high as the ceiling you put above it. And we're looking today at living ceilingless. Are you ceilingless? Are you willing to set aside any experience today? And this is a yes or no answer. Are you willing to set aside any experience you have ever had that you know holds you back? Absolutely willing. Even if you think you get something from it. Even if you think it's a good thing to hold on to, because I should always remember that as I move forward. No, you shouldn't. Trust me, something in you will, that knows exactly what to do. It's called God. And God always drives me in the right direction. I don't have to remember that this is a dead end. God moves me this way when I allow it to, as opposed to thinking I'm driving the car. Not that I haven't hit a few dead ends. So are you willing to set aside all of those experiences? Yes. Are you willing to walk away from any experience that you think still is holding you back? Yes or no? Really walk away. That means, you know what walking away means? You're not allowed to talk about it anymore. Oh. Your stories are over. Once someone has heard it, they don't need to hear it again. Anybody ever tell you the same story twice? No, huh? Anybody ever tell you the same story twice, but it gets worse every time they tell you? Yeah, because every time they tell it, they feel it again. And now it's worse. So are you willing to let go of that? Are you willing to stop telling your story? Are you willing to actually see yourself as a newborn? As a child who gets to look at the world in such a unique way that nothing can stop you from taking that risk, that exquisite risk. And what Mark Nepo means by exquisite risk is a divine risk, a risk that is in you to take because it must be taken in order for you to realize who you truly are. Are you willing to blow out your ceiling? The first row is. Am I not reaching past the first row? Are you willing to blow out your ceiling, Joe Jordan? Yes. Scream it out, Joe. Yes. Okay. But you know what that means also? You have to be willing to handle the environment. You have to be willing, as Jay Willick so brilliantly spoke this morning, you have to be willing to actually see what's going on around you. Handle the environment. Not suddenly believe that you can control the environment, because you can't. You are not in control of the environment. You are in control of the way you experience the environment. You are in control of your mind. And let's be very clear in this science. My mind is not so powerful in and of itself that it can actually change your life. No. My mind is so powerful in and of itself because I can change my life. And everything relates around me. So, it's what happens around us and what we do with what happens around us that designates how our life moves forward. Carl Sandburg wrote, "I am an idealist. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm on my way." It's a great way to live life. When we think we know where we're going, we've just set a ceiling. Now, I'm not saying we should all walk around as willy-nilly or namby-pamby. I'm not saying we should all walk around just going, I don't know, maybe I'll do this. That's not what I'm saying. unless you want to act like that. What I'm saying is you have to be willing to make decisions and decide where you want to go and leave room for the unexpected. Leave room for something greater. And in fact, I'm actually saying today, we need to start looking at why we are choosing where we're going. Because I have a sense that most of us choose where we're going based on the height of the ceiling we have in place. And it is time for us to blow out the ceiling and see where we start making different decisions. See how we start making different choices in life. See how we start being more open to possibility in life. We're going up, up, up. We're flying away. That's why I love that song. As soon as I heard it, it was like, yes, yes. Ray Bradbury wrote this quote, and I tweeted it this week. Sometimes you have to jump out the window and grow wings on the way down. And I got so many tweets back to me just saying to me, what a great idea. But I don't think I wrote the correct quote because I think I just found the correct quote this morning. I think I tweeted, sometimes you just have to jump out the window and figure it out later. I like mine. Sometimes you just have to jump out of the window and figure it out later. How many people wait to jump out the window? And even more importantly, how many people don't jump out the window because once they figure out that jumping out the window could be painful, they don't? Anybody fall into that category? None of you. Well, I don't know why I'm talking. You all have it. You all got it? I love the concept of just jumping out a window. Now, I will tell you, and my husband will tell you, I have always been a man who jumped first and thought about it later. But I have to tell you, I love that about me. I do. I have always loved that I never thought about, was this going to be too hard? Is this possible or not possible? If the idea came to me, surely it must be possible. I have always been that way, or you wouldn't be sitting in this theater today. It's true. It's true. You know, did Southern California really need another religious science church? Well, I could say yes or no. But the thing is, I always just jump. Now, the truth is, society will try to make me think about this a little bit more. And I will tell you that when I eke over to the side of, let me figure this out before I make a decision, before I do this, it doesn't always pan out better. Sometimes it does. But what I've learned now, and this is what I'm here to talk to you about today, blowing out the ceiling, willing to understand and handle your environment, there is a way to still be thoughtful and decisive and smart and not lose your spiritual edge. Not lose that thing inside of you that is pushing forward, saying, no. Yes, this can happen. You can do this. But I don't know how I'm going to do this. How am I supposed to do this? Just jump out of the window. Just jump out. That was the name of your kidney stone. Just jump. Just jump out of the window and let me guide you. Then the quote works great. Then I'll grow you some wings. But you don't get the wings till you jump. What if life was like that? Guess what? Life is like that. Because if you're not jumping, something in you is telling the law you don't trust, you don't believe. You're not certain that you're going to land well. These steps are calling me today. If you're not jumping, there's something in you that is actively creating your life. But if you do jump, if you're willing to jump out of that window and just allow life to take you where it takes you, now you've said to God, you've said to the universe, you said to yourself, I believe in me. Take me where I need to go. I have a huge talent inside of me that needs to be expressed, that needs the universe to hear it. How many people came to see Levi Christ? Both nights were just brilliant. Just brilliant. You know, all of you who got to see that, I believe you saw someone on the par of what will be like a Barbra Streisand. Someone who is going to reach those heights. And I believe you will look back and remember that you got to sit in a room with 100 people or 80 people and witness this man personally. And witness what God does when someone says, use me. It was just exquisite. It was so brilliant. And last night, when he closed his set and he sang Let Go, Let God, which is a song he wrote, he couldn't get through it almost with the emotion that he had. But the whole concept, the lyric he has in that song of, when I just stop worrying and let life take me on its journey, when I let go and I let God, then I let it all happen perfectly. And I watched this man who I've been watching for a couple years now. I watched him as he was literally saying goodbye to LA and saying hello to bigger. Saying hello to a bigger, bigger life. Going up, 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 flying away. And that's why it was so beautiful that night last night gets bookended with Josh Sterling this morning. Because watching him up here sing just now makes me emotional. He let it go today. He just let it out today. He did fly away. He did let go and let God. And I believe he has never sang better in his entire life. You know what it means? Do you know what it means when you've never sang better in your entire life, in a larger venue, in a time when you've never done before? You know what it means when you do that then? It means you've jumped out the window. You're not playing it safe. You've jumped out the window. Every single one of us today has the call to jump out of that window. You know, some ceilings really do need to be abandoned. And sometimes the only thing you can do to abandon those ceilings is jump out of the window. Sometimes it's not about confronting the ceiling even, or trying to break through the ceiling. You know, how many people have done that work for themselves? How many of us have gone to those walls and broken those walls down, yes? Yeah. We've been doing that work ever since whoever came along and started it for us. I think it's time to stop that. Maybe it's time to just jump out the window. If all these ceilings are still here, you know what? Jump out the window. The ceilings can go wherever they go. It's time to jump. Up, up, up. You know, how can you go up, up, up if there's a ceiling in your way? How can you go up if you put a lid on it? You're just going to, that's life. And sometimes doesn't it feel like that? I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. My mother, my sister. Henri Nouwen wrote this: we cannot change the world by a new plan, project, or idea. We cannot even change other people by our convictions, stories, advice, and proposals, but we can offer a space where people are encouraged to disarm themselves, lay aside their occupations and preoccupations, and listen with intention and attention and care to the voices speaking in their own center. I am here today to encourage us all to disarm ourselves. That's really what I was doing to Reverend Sharon at the beginning of this, asking her to disarm herself from anything she had in her mind about any idea she had of how she normally sounds. I don't want to know how I normally sound. I just want to sing and just let it out. And that's what it means to disarm yourself. Dissuade yourself from your own opinions of yourself. And really disengage yourself from other people's opinions of you. I cannot fly up, up, up if I am weighed down by the opinions of the world. And those include my own opinions. We cannot change other people by convictions, stories, advice, and proposals. You can change other people by them seeing you live life so fully, so fearlessly, that they want to know what you're taking. Beneath the life, and this is from the Exquisite Risk, beneath the life of problem solving waits the struggle to be real, from which no one is exempt. I had a lot of things to handle this week. And at one point I sat in my office and I was like, when am I going to stop solving problems and just live? And it was a really important moment. And I got up and I walked out of the building. And I haven't been back. Now, could you imagine? I left. I jumped out the window, in fact. But I really got it. I was like, it's so easy. Isn't it so easy for life to suddenly just turn into solving problems? handling the day-to-day machination of what life is? Isn't it so easy for that to suddenly become your life? Anybody feel that? All of a sudden, here's what my life has become. But my life wasn't that when I started. When I left Philadelphia to go to New York, I didn't own anything. I didn't have anything I had to take care of except myself. It was so much easier when I was 19, 20, 21 to jump out of a window. I lived in a garden apartment. It was very easy. Just jump out the window. Nothing's going to happen. Then I moved to the 5th floor. It got a little harder. Then a high rise. It got even harder. And you and I are right now in the penthouse. And we may be very comfortable there, making nice money, feeling comfortable with our lives, feeling even happy, let's say. But maybe we can turn happy into joyous. Maybe we can turn successful into opulent awesomeness. Maybe we can turn being content into being awestruck at what's possible. Maybe we can get rid of the penthouse and jump out the window and find out, do we believe enough for wings to grow so that we can fly into an atmosphere that we have never even experienced before? Mark Niemeyer goes on to say, we each face the challenge, and you'll love this, Reverend Jay, to both survive and thrive, to be cautious and daring at the same time. So, lest you think I am saying everyone should go home and jump out of their window, I'm not. But I am saying metaphorically that there's a way to be cautious and daring simultaneously. There's a way to be human divine as one thing. To see what's going on around the world. To be able to know what's going on and to be a part of it and to put your energy into it without succumbing to it. That's the exquisite risk. He goes on to ask us, are we here to achieve or to experience? Are we here to be good or to be authentic? Are we here to build for tomorrow or to dig into today? These three things, achieve or experience, I will tell you, I am an overachiever. Has anyone ever saw that in me? Thank you, Sharon. I am an overachiever. And when I read this, I went, are we here to achieve or experience? Sometimes in my greatest achievements, I have not experienced what I just created. Because I'm so focused on the achieving that I forget to experience it. I don't want that anymore. I'm 57 years old. I'll soon be 58 years old. I'd like the next 58 years to be all about experiencing life, living life, no matter what happens, knowing that it always happens perfectly. Am I here to be good or to be authentic? Well, let's face it. I stopped being good a long time ago. I don't see the purpose to try to be good. In fact, Barbara Altman and I were talking that right before this service. You know, what is good? I mean, really, behaviorally. And I will let you answer that. So are we here to be good or to be authentic? I just want to be authentic. And I want to stop knowing what that means. I want to stop knowing what being authentic means. Because you know what being authentic means? It means that I don't know. Being authentic means that I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm authentically willing to let it happen. Wouldn't you like to be that? Yes. Again, the front rows. That's why we're sitting here. Thank you, Doug. And then the last one, to build for tomorrow or to dig into today. You know, the idea of delaying gratification that I was taught as a Catholic schoolboy. I have a feeling I know now what they meant by that. But delaying gratification, my mind just went, I've opened my mind to whatever's coming through now. Delaying gratification does not work for me, and it hasn't worked for me in a very long time. But saving for tomorrow, preparing for tomorrow, I can still be a smart businessman and know my tomorrows are handled. Doesn't mean I have to forget all that. But I don't want to live there. I can't live in tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't exist. Tomorrow will never exist. Ever. It will never be tomorrow. Because when tomorrow comes, it's today. So it will never be tomorrow. So do I want to build for tomorrow or dig into today? And the irony of that is, if I dig into today, if I really make the most out of today, tomorrow is handled. If I've told the law, and if I said to the universe, here I am, use me up. Use me up. I loved what Ricky Byers-Beckwith recently said. She said, when I die, all I want, if I will have succeeded, if I know when I die, there's nothing left of me. That's what I want. I want there to be nothing left of me. And I don't want to start today thinking, how can I reserve myself so that there's enough of me to get to the end? I'm limitless. I'm God. I don't have to worry about, am I going to spend myself up too soon? I just want to be spent every single day by the divine conscious energy of this universe. Spend me, use me. So are we here to create ceilings or throw ourselves with complete abandon into the limitless sea of receptivity? I'm going to leave you with this last quote. Mark Nepo says in The Exquisite Risk, ultimately, there is always the need to risk being new. Ultimately, there is always the need to risk being new. So you came here today to celebrate with all of us, and I came here today to talk about blowing out the ceiling. And as this talk has gone on, something has happened inside of me that, it just, as I kept speaking, as I let Spirit say what it needed to say, I had this image in my head that I was sitting out there all alone, and you all were up here talking to me. That's what flashed through my head, that I need to be out here and hear this. It's a risk to be new, because we are so caught up in having proved everything we've proved about ourselves up to this point. I know, without a shadow of a doubt, that every single person in this room is being called today to jump out that window and let God figure it out. Jump out that window. We're going up, up, up. We're flying away. We're taking the higher road. Today's the day. Thank you to Josh Sterling for bringing us that song. We don't have to wait any longer to live fully today. We don't have to wait for a kidney stone to ask ourselves, am I thriving or surviving? If you're just surviving, it's time to jump out of the window. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.